On this week's episode of Devil's Trap Podcast, Garth is the new Bobby.
Inspector is the new Ghost. Let's do this.
Welcome to this week's episode of Devil's Trap Podcast. I'm Diana.
I'm Liz.
And this week we're going to talk about Season 8, Episode 6, Southern Comfort.
That is exciting. I would say that I want to drink Southern Comfort, but that liquor is disgusting, and I'm not in a sorority.
Yes.
I also
Have I ever told you my Southern Comfort story? I have a very brief one, I promise.
Did it involve vomit?
It's brief. No vomiting. But when I was in my early 20s, Tuaca was the shot of preference.
Oh, Tuaca.
Funny story, Tuaca and SoCo, Southern Comfort, SoCo are about the same color. When those get mixed up at the bar, it's very unfortunate.
Those are not the same.
The same shot, not the same
not
shot.
Not the same shot. Tuaca is what sorority girls should drink. Like, it is the easiest fucking liquor. Like, there was a bar in Manhattan that the bartender would buy, like, he bought that bottle he would buy bottles of Tuaca for just me and my friend to come in, which is sad when like the bartender's like, I bought you a new bottle of Tuaca.
You're okay. Yeah,
I've got a drunk
Star in Tuaca. That was my shit.
It's delicious. Really is. Damn it. No one listens to Tuaca.
I haven't had Tuaca in forever. Anyways, that's Southern Comfort. Every time I hear it, that's what I think about. It's just like accidentally drinking it, which is the worst way to drink it.
Yeah, I think it's also one of the liquors that you experienced as a child. Like, it was in everybody's parents' like liquor cabinet, and everyone like, this is no.
I'm gonna sip this. I'm sure it's delicious. No, it's not.
No, God, I'm gonna vomit just thinking about this right now. Oh.
Don't do that. Don't do that. All right. Sorry to detour right away. Here we go.
What's unusual?
How are you? What have you been up to?
I don't even know. I don't remember. I know I went to a yoga class today and it was hot and they used the word booty, which just makes me like want to, like, if I ever lose it in a gym, that's because someone's going to be talking about how I'm working on my booty while I'm like trying to do some like, and it was like, I haven't been in a yoga class in a minute, and it was not an easy class. She didn't have any modifications, and there was a lot of like, grab the back of your foot, which is not something you want to do when you have really tight hamstrings. But this is also the gym that is offering, I said it to you yesterday, what do they call it? The Perfect Peach, which is just
Perfect Peach.
Also makes me want to vomit. Like, please don't talk about my peach. But I mean, my butt's fine. I don't want to do more glute work, but whatever. It was just part of what you do. So there is that. I know this weekend, like, I was going to be like Diana and go to a show, but then I had cramps and I stayed home. And I missed Teenage Bottle Rocket.
And it was raining, right?
It was just, I mean, I'm just exhausted too. And I'm just really, really tired. And I think we all are. I think the world is just exhausted. And the world needs a nap is what I think. Let's 2024, take a nap. This is what the pandemic should have been. This is the actual nap not time. The nap while you're like stressed out that the world is going to explode and end, which, I'm still stressed out about, but less stressed out because I'm not being forcibly confined to my house. Right. And so this is now the time to, I think we all need a nap.
I don't like naps, and I'm going to second
or rest. Like,
I'm going to second it. For this time, I'm seconding it. I'm in. Which says a lot. Yeah. I don't think I went to a show last week.
Well, you went to a Mardi Gras event. And
I went to a Mardi Gras parade. I did go to a Mardi Gras parade, and there was 2 marching bands and a DJ. So, I mean, I guess that's something. Did that. That was fun. Got to hang with our dear friend who creates the amazing Island Getaway rum. She was in Dallas, so that was fun to see Stephanie. And then watched the superb owl with a pile of snacks.
I'm pretty
family.
sure I had a
That was
pile
my
of
weekend.
snacks, even though I didn't have a superb owl. I did watch the Puppy Bowl. It's so commercialized these days. When is it going to be about the puppies? When is it just going to be about the puppies and the kitten? I mean, there's like fucking like Roku things like in the middle of the field. There's like, it's so commercial. Capitalism's just dug its heels into the Puppy Bowl.
Damn. I don't know. I enjoyed the halftime show of this Super Bowl.
I still haven't even seen it. I don't care.
Usher was pretty good.
Cool.
I give him props. He's still a good dancer. And he got on roller skates, and I was very happy.
Oh, that's good.
Anyways, yeah, it was cool. There was like a really cool roller skate dance thing. Anyways, but yeah, no, I'm gearing up to announce our car show's new date later this week. So I'm doing a bunch of social media work, and then that's about it. That's all I got.
Yeah. And tomorrow is Valentine's Day, so I guess
we all will catch us after Valentine's. Probably,
that's true. It's still post, but I am wearing a themed shirt, which is just a couple that's hanging together, but it's the new Twin Temple shirt. Not that I needed more Twin Temple. Like, it's also stupid. Like, they have the best merchandise, like, right before they come to town. And I'm like, why am I buying this shirt? Like, I bought this shirt, like, from so Twin Temple, like, if you're not watching the video, it's a really cute shirt where it's, like, there's a heart and their logo, and then, like, the two of them are, like, hanging from it, and then underneath it, which you can't see in the video or anywhere, it says, let's hang together. But they are playing in San Antonio Friday. I think Dallas is Saturday. But they're on tour. Go check them out if they come through your town. They are doing now, like, there's going to be unlimited satanic baptisms. So, like, you can, I think it's like $100. You can go and they'll dump blood on your head. It's a great time. Go do it. Support the arts. Support your local Satanist. Anyways, on that.
Well, on that note, it's also Ash Wednesday. No,
is it? Well, yeah, I guess Mardi Gras.
And the beginning of Lent.
Oh, that means in San Antonio.
So that's also
the start
happening.
of fish specials, and that is why I like Lent, because we get Fish Friday. Well, they kind of just do it like every Friday, like now, like
but more places.
Yeah, so there's like the super good fried fish like comes out.
I mean, we're also hitting like crawfish season, but I heard it's going to be a bad crop this year, which is very sad.
Poor mud bugs. All right. So, Southern Comfort, Season 8, Episode 6. This first aired November 7th, 2012. It was directed by Tim Andrew, who we last saw directed Season 7, Episode 8, Time for a Wedding. And it was written by Adam Glass, who we last saw in Season 7, Episode 18, Party On, Garth. So he is I do like when you have like a special character and they get kind of linked with the writer, so they know like these are the things that I've done with them. Like, not that the other writers wouldn't, but
no, it's a nice continuation. But actually, like, I kind of can. That makes sense when you say those. You know what I mean? Like those episodes, I'm like, oh, okay, I can see that.
Yep. And so, speaking of Garth, that's what we start seeing in our recap.
It is. We get a bunch of Garth, and then we get a little bit of the Sam's year off with Amelia and Dean's year off in purgatory. So we open our episode in Kearney, Missouri. And this scene is traumatizing.
I figured it would get you. So 7 is just working under their car under a loan.
Traumatizing. Yeah.
Not being safe.
It's at night, and with a jack stand under his car, and a woman walks up, and he's like, oh yeah, bring me a beer. And she yells, why don't you have Sarah Alcott get it for you? And he looks very confused, but he's still under the car, still under there. And she kicks the jack stand out, and the car falls. The car doesn't kill him, but it traps him, and he's alive. And so she gets the car, she fucking guns it, and it decapitates him. We find out later. We do see blood, but he's dead. I'm just going to share. I don't know if I've ever shared. We have a rule in our household because
we've talked about it on the show before. Yeah.
I thought so. So anyways, and Dave's been run over by a car, and we're always scared about
Babe has been run over by a car? Like while he was underneath it, or like just in general, he was run over by?
Yeah, like the jack, it didn't have the chocks on it, and it like rolled on him. And then my car, if it were to fall off the jack stands and you were under it, it would trap you but not kill you. That's why we have the rule of not being under there alone. Anyways, but yeah, very upsetting.
But I also have the intrusive thought of I kind of want to kick out that jack stand. Like, I can see that. Like, if it was just there, it's like motorcycles, like, all in a row. Like, there is the intrusive thought of, I just want to kick them.
Just boop.
I know I shouldn't.
Boop,
but I just want to kick that jack stand.
Oh, my Lord.
So that's how we start, with some pitter-patter blood splatter of him everywhere. And then we cut to...
Traumatized. Like, I couldn't even call Babe in the room to watch it. Yeah. So we're at Fat Mac's Rib Shack with Sam and Dean. And
on those ribs.
I just had ribs for dinner. I can talk now. Dean found a case, but Sam's mad. He's like, "We haven't spoken since Prentice Island."
Why we have to talk about Benny. What is Benny? Okay, we gotta talk about Benny. And Danny is like, okay. So, but like, why is Danny still breathing? What about Amy? And Dean's like, what about Kate? And we let her live, right? But then I'm like, this whole thing, like, is the whole premise of Benny that pisses me off is, what about Amber Benson? What about Tara? What about Lenore? Whatever the fuck her name is on the show. But you let her live. Like, you both agreed. I believe it was Sam that was like like, she's fine. She and her Kevin or whatever, her nest, can go along their way. And that was Sam's idea, if I do recall. So, like, what?
It's very inconsistent. It's inconsistent, and that's the annoyance. But then also, like, you think that, like, Sam always wanted Dean to come around on this shit, so why is he so fucking mad at him for it?
Because Dean has another boyfriend. And he was being being secretive about it. Yeah. We kind of get some of that out later. Like, he's lying about it, which is true. Like, if you are hiding your boyfriend, your friend, whatever, like, from your partner, your brother, whoever they are, generally that says more about you than it says about your partner, probably, and what you feel about them.
Benny needs to call Am I in a Secret Relationship? It's a show on MTV. It's very dramatic.
That does sound very dramatic.
But yeah. And Dean, but he talks a little bit, though. He's like, look, yeah, I got a vampire buddy, and you turned your phone off for a year. It's not wrong.
So they go to the crime scene, and then they have one of their "Is this our thing?" fights.
Yes, of course. And I do like that Dean shares that when is decapitation not my thing? Pretty funny. But there's a lot of decapitations, unfortunately, that are probably not their thing. So that's kind of a weird one too.
That would be dismembered.
Garth is there.
Yes. But they find out a Texas Ranger is there. And that's how we were like, correct. Garth! And then that's also just like premonition, like if you just forward watch to Walker, Texas, this is all very funny if you think about it.
Yes, it is. But he is definitely not dressed like a Texas Ranger, for the record. They have a very distinct uniform and look, and this is not it.
No, I don't know what I would call his look. Mountain man.
Yeah, it's weird.
He's got a really great fringe jacket on, but also, I mean, whatever, Garth.
Yeah. Garth is happy and gives hugs because that's what Garth does, and he's like getting teased by Dean, like, what the fuck, you're a ranger, why in your Missouri? But Garth's phone's ringing, and he opens his little fringe jacket, and there's 3 phones tucked in there, and he's giving a guy tips on how to kill a revenant. And this is when Sam and Dean have the revelation that Garth is the new Bobby.
Garth is the new Bobby. And he's very, very righteous in pointing out that Dean was gone. We don't know where the fuck Sam is. Somebody had to step in. That's a whole year of monsters that are running around, like, killing people.
With hunters needing help.
And they don't have the help from Bobby. So fuck off, Dean. Why are you being so mean to Garth?
Yeah. So he's like, all right, I'm going to introduce you, though, to the son of this victim / the killer. And by the way, Mom, who is the one that's supposedly the killer, she's at the hospital. And they don't really get anything of note from their quick talk with Scott Lou, the son. So they're going to keep investigating where they looking around this garage, and Garth steps in this green goo, ectoplasm.
And he can tell that it's ectoplasm by how it tastes. Which I do wonder, like, how does ectoplasm taste? Does it taste like licorice? I think it tastes like licorice. That's my thought.
Huh.
If you think about it, the black to green, like, so absinthe, like, so like black licorice for the black stuff, and then it tastes more like, wormwood, like absinthe when it goes to the green.
Interesting. I wondered, but I hadn't gotten that far in it. So it was like ectoplasm, absinthe. I don't even know. I'm going down a rabbit hole.
Yep.
But either way. So Garth gets another phone call, and it is the coroner who's letting him know that they found the name Alcott carved into the victim's chest with the wife's fingernails.
Yep.
That's
also
weird.
His phone is playing Wild Wild West, and he does answer it with Ranger McCrae, which is a reference to the miniseries Lonesome Dove, in which Robert Duvall played Texas Ranger Augustus McCrae. And also, I think that it's smart to have Wild Wild West play when you have to answer as a ranger. So then your brain automatically goes, oh, it's a Western. I'm a Texas Ranger. Yeah. I like it.
Yeah. That's smart.
Smart.
So at the hospital, they're going to question the wife, this woman who killed her husband by kicking the jack stand, and
then Carter, like, so what? Like, she ran him over and then like dragged him out, and then was like, "Ow, cut."
I guess that's what I don't know. So, and she's like, "Yeah, I was at the store, and then my son found me in the driveway, and he's dead." I don't know. I remember pieces, and that makes Garth giggle. But she remembers his screams, burning rubber, and uncontrollable rage.
Yeah, and during this scene, we're getting a lot of like these super intense shots, and so you can really see like Jared Padalecki's nostril work, like just that nostril acting, like really hardcore, just like this is what I'm thinking, and then like his stupid hair is just like there, like fluffing. So dumb.
Just getting fluffier and fluffier the more she talks.
So just like, I think it's going to start like there's a wind machine that's going to start blowing this behind him. So, yeah. But yeah, so we learned from this, besides his nostril work, we just learned shit about Sarah Alcott was a chick in high school.
Yeah, some chick in high school that Chester banged when they were on a break.
We were on a break.
And that was it. And then Mary and Chester have been together for 37 years since. So whatever. And apparently she's still alive. So Sam, Dean, and Garth go to eat at the diner. And Garth asked Dean where he's been for the last year.
No, it was a bar. I don't think that was a diner. That looked like a dive bar, like a pub, a grill.
Pub.
But not nice enough to be a pub.
Grill.
A nice house.
Like a sports bar and grill.
Sports bar and grill. God damn it, sports bar and grill.
But Dean's like, yeah, I was in purgatory. And Garth says, that's balls. And Dean is distraught because that is not how you say balls.
It's just not.
But Dean won't answer the question about how he got out. But they are going to start talking about the large number of Confederate flags. And
not Confederate flags, hillbilly hankies. I think that is a great name for them. So all of the hillbilly hankies that are hanging in this establishment, which of course everybody you're like, whoa, like that's not something that I don't know. I haven't been in the Deep South in a minute, but I still think even now, like 2012, that was still kind of. That's a lot of hillbilly hankies in this store.
There was a lot in this place.
Enough that I would probably be very uncomfortable and be like, what is happening? What are you fronting for?
Oh, well, Garth's going to give them a history lesson about Missouri. Because apparently he learned a lot in college. Because he went to college, and then
you learned this in elementary school. Missouri was the state with the. Oh, anyways, sorry.
Either way, Missouri was a border state, in the Civil War, and it was very complicated.
Well, it has to do when Missouri was being brought into the when it was being brought into the United States.
Right.
Anyways, okay, we're not going into that, but it's something that you learn when you're in third grade. Anyways.
And again in junior high, and again in high school. Like,
and then again in like every time there's a news story. So anyways, okay, but we also learned that Garth killed the Tooth Fairy.
Because he was a dentist, and his first case was the Tooth Fairy. That's amazing.
I love the story. Yeah, someone should make the backstory. I want to see Garth's first case.
Yeah, not only did Garth go to college, Garth went to dental school. And then became a hunter because while he was working as a dentist, his first case was killing the Tooth Fairy.
But all I can picture is the Tooth Fairy that was in one of the earlier episodes, and he's like that, like the cherry hat, and like a lot of our guy friends will dress as the Tooth Fairies, and then when they got the cherry hat, the hairy chest, and like the man, like a big burly man in a tutu, like that's what I picture Garth fighting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It does. Somebody make that happen. Story. All right, so
the girl who is not a fan of fanfic is requesting this. I'm just saying. All right, so there we go. We've got Scott Lou, the son, is going to go to the store, and he's talking to a woman on the phone that sounds like his significant other, and he's hitting his inhaler and reaching in his mom's bag for money because he's taking her stuff to the hospital for her. And something he touches in the bag does something to him, and we have green and greenish black goo dripping from his ear.
My friend goo.
Yeah. So he goes inside, and he's trying to avoid some dude that he knows.
Yeah.
And he's yeah, like you do. And so he's just trying to get some fucking coffee.
But also, like, I just know this, like, small town thing. Just like, oh, fuck, Jeff's in here. All right, like, if I just, like, go to the, like, I'm just going to go behind this aisle. Like, Jeff won't see me if I go over here.
Yeah. So ridiculous. Either way, he gets his fucking coffee, and then the guy, like, starts talking to him and brings up getting his money back. And then all of a sudden, Scott's going to throw the coffee on him and starts stabbing him repeatedly with a shovel.
Yeah, and throwing hot coffee, like, I think the hot coffee in the face is worse than stabbing him with a shovel. I think I would rather be stabbed with a shovel than get the hot coffee thrown in my face. That would be that would be my choice.
If you had to do it either or.
If I had to pick, I would pick the shovel.
Yeah, but I don't know if you're going to survive the shovel. You can survive the hot coffee.
Yeah, but anyways. All right. So in the mirror, we see that it's not Scott.
Scott. The mirror flickers to a dead Civil War dude.
Yeah, decomposing. He does not look like a good times. He's he's very, very blue, which is weird because he's not union.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Dean and Sam are now going to come check, and Garth. Sorry, Dean, Sam, and Garth.
Yeah, and they're going to come investigate, and they immediately discover, very obviously, it says the name Sussex, or the word Sussex, Sussex, written in blood on the cooler door. I just feel like this is, like, super obvious, and it looks like they act like they just, like, ha-ha, look at this clue we've discovered.
Detective Sam has detected a clue.
That's ginormous and obvious. But anyway, they find more ectoplasm because Garth steps in it again. And at this moment, Dean realizes that Garth is actually wearing one of Bobby's actual hats. And Garth's like, yeah, we worked a Rougarou case, and he left it in the car, so it's fine. But Dean is not happy, and he snatches it off of Garth's head. That's not very nice. But they're going to go watch the security footage. Obviously, the security footage is fucked up. Duh, shocker. And so Sam's going to go talk to Sarah Alcott, and Dean and Garth are going to go research what Sussex is.
It's a town in England, also a place in Long Island. And so anyway, so Sam does go talk to Alcott, and she is stylish, and I like her. She's only here for a minute, but I like her porch. I like that she's meeting him on her porch. Like, I feel like I would get along with him. Like, I don't know. Like, she seems like a cool chick.
Very chill. I like her. But she's like, yeah, it's real weird that the FBI is asking me about who I went to prom with, and you're obviously enjoying my tea, but, you know, yeah, Mary kept Chester on a short leash. And I was just a reminder of his betrayal.
Yep, and basically we find the story. You know, they banged, he ghosted her, he eloped with Mary, and Mary just never got over the fact that while they were on this break, that he put his dick in her. And Mary, get the fuck over it.
Yeah,
go bang somebody else. Like if you can't like get past this,
she's
30 years, like
for that long.
That's a long time to be hanging on to this shit. So. You look at the great life that Alcott is living. She's living her best life.
Yeah, she's living her best life. Yeah, she's remarried. She's married now. She's got she had her name hyphenated and all that.
But unfortunately,
now we're gonna get a flashback. Ta-da! Because now we got to go back to Amelia's motel room, and she and Sam have obviously banged, and she is now explaining why she's there because she is a widow. Her husband
died
unexpectedly to her, joined the military, and then got deployed very quickly. So he enlisted suddenly, deployed quickly, went to Afghanistan, and had died 8 months prior to her arriving in the
it's 2012. So, I mean, that makes sense, right? Going to Afghanistan and then not,
Mm-hmm.
But, so she moved to Kermit to get away from all the pity. But also 8 months ago, damn.
Yeah, that's not right. That's not right.
Amelia. But I mean, also, like, hey, if you got to get over, like, a man, climb on Sam Winchester. I mean, you're going to be sad. At least be sad while, like, you're, riding Sam Winchester.
Riding Sam Winchester. I mean, you can be sad a lot of places.
That, like, you're going to be crying, like, and that she cried during that sex too. Like, there's no way, like, there's no way the first person that she slept with after her husband has only been like dead for 8 months, Amelia. But yeah, there was, you don't know Sam. She was like, you couldn't see it. She was crying. Anyways,
damn,
I'm not wrong. Yeah. There's no way I'm wrong.
You're not. No, you're not. Well, we cut back to Dean and Garth doing their research, but Dean will not let Garth have a beer because Garth can't handle his booze. We know this. And Garth calls Dean an idiot, and Dean is mad because he says it kind of a laughing way, not angrily, because idiot should be said angry.
It should be.
And Garth's going to try to pry because he wants to know, whoa.
What's really weird, though, is I couldn't hear it.
No,
I couldn't.
Okay. I did. Garth wants to pry, though, about how Sam and Dean are acting weird, and then tries to talk about Bobby. Basically, Garth wants Dean to talk about his feelings, because Garth wants to talk about feelings, and Dean doesn't. Dean doesn't want to. But, yeah, and then... But Dean's like really tries to shut down. He's like, you're never going to be Bobby. But Garth makes a good point. He's like, look, Bobby belonged to all of us, not just you and Sam. So taking what he showed me and I'm trying to do something with it.
That's right, Garth. Boom. You dropped this bit of righteous truth on Dean Winchester because it's right.
Correct.
Bobby belongs to everybody. He's not just your Sam and Dean. No. And also, Sam's not being bitchy about this shit. It's just you, Dean.
Yeah. So, in the midst of this, Dean calms down and discovers that Sussex was not a person, but it was the name of a business. It was Scott Lou and the guy that he just murdered at the convenience store's business. They were partners. And, and it went on.
They had beef.
So, yeah. So, there we go.
I don't know why I started using the term beef while I started writing my notes, but I think it was because
are they beefing?
I feel like, we're going very 2012. Like, they've got beef.
Well, Sam calls to let them know that Sarah's clean. So they know that Sarah's not tied to this at all. And Garth is sitting there and he's flipping through. He's got Bobby's notebook. And he's like, wait, this green goo, this could equal a specter. And avenging ghost.
Right, and so I had to look this up because I was like, wait, what is the difference between a ghost and a specter? And then I found out that it was just some nerdy grammar shit, and that made me happy. So according to the contentauthority.com, a ghost is a supernatural entity that is believed to be the spirit or the soul of a deceased person. It is commonly depicted as translucent. So basically, though, ghosts are associated with the haunting. And so they can do ghost stuff, whatever, but they're a haunting, right? And a specter is also a supernatural entity, but it's different because while a ghost is like the spirit of someone who died, specters are often associated with other entities or demons or shadowy figures. And so they say, like, specters are able to manipulate the physical world more easier and can cause objects to move or disappear. So we're going to do a quick thing there. I'm just going to like shove a quiz on Diana because it's fun. Quick quiz on the difference between a ghost and a specter. Not Phil Spector. Phil Spector is not coming into this. So I'm going to give you a word, give you a sentence, they're going to be in blank. You're going to have to figure out if this is supposed to be a ghost or a specter, right? So, and these are pretty easy, but I think they're a very good way to learn. So, number 1. The old mansion was said to be haunted by a blank.
Ghost.
Correct. The blank of Christmas Past visited Ebenezer Scrooge in the famous Charles Dickens story.
So I think the word often uses ghost, but I would think that would be a specter based on the definition.
It is. It's a specter because it's not a haunted person. But technically, we don't know that. The ghost of Christmas Past could have been Bill. Okay. All right. So question number 3. The blank of a smile flickered across her face as she remembered the happy memory.
It could be either, right?
It's ghost. Because it's translucent, I guess. I don't. Maybe.
Okay.
Right, number 4. After his death, his blank was said to appear at the foot of his bed every night.
Ghost.
That is ghost. All right, and the last one. The blank of the dead soldier appeared to the grieving family in their dreams.
Ghost.
It's specter.
Specter? Oh.
I don't know, because that doesn't make sense because it's a dead soldier, so that is the ghost of a thing, but it's the... I don't know, I still don't understand the difference. But I do know, like, if it's... Because they just said of the dead soldier, right? So that implies that it was a person.
Yeah. That's why I was going that way.
But I guess because it's not a haunting, right? Because it's in a dream?
Right, it's not a haunting because it's in a dream. That must be the difference.
Well, sure. Okay. All right. The English language is stupid. All right. So Garth has learned about a grave.
Yes. And there's a grave that was desecrated in town 3 days ago. And so they're going to go check it out. And it happens to be the local, the tomb of the unknown soldier from the Confederacy.
The unknown Confederate soldier, which is very distinctive from the unknown soldier.
Right.
And how did Garth learn about the Confederate soldier?
Well, because he does an annual Civil War reenactment, obviously.
Sure. And then so they had to figure out what they're going to do. And of course, the obvious answer is, well, we're going to burn it. Burn them.
Yeah, we're going to come back at night and burn the bones. Done.
And Sam has a great line, which is, burn a Confederate soldier's bones in a town full of rednecks. Sure. And I also I would say that in a much different voice. I'd be like, burn a Confederate soldier's bones in a town full of rednecks? Sure. That's how I would deliver that line. But, Padalecki, you made your choice. That's fine.
Well, so they go back at night and they're like, hey, okay, so all they know is that the police found beer cans, graffiti, and the casket opened. But it looks like everything is still in the casket.
I don't think that's a casket.
Fine. Well, it's not. It's like
it's a tomb.
Stone. What do you call that? Tomb. That's what.
But it's not a sarcophagus. Ooh, see, now we have a whole other tangent to run back on another day, which will be, what the fuck do you go? So it's in a tomb, right?
Well, the room's a mausoleum.
But it's a tomb. It's
right?
a tomb. It's because it's a tomb of the unknown soldier, right?
The unknown soldier, yeah.
So the tomb is above ground. I think mausoleum, it means there's more than one. I don't know. We're gonna be. This is a weird. I feel my goth card is going to get taken away because I can't tell you the difference between.
Your cemetery trivia is.
I'm not going to be allowed in the cemetery anymore. So. Okay, so note to self: we're going to chalk that up later and come back with a bonus thing that says what the fuck that's called.
Well, the basics are, though, they open the sucker up and it has gold guns and sword in there. So it looks like it hasn't been disturbed. It looks like nobody took anything out of it. So like, fuck yeah. Yeah, exactly. So they're going to fucking salt and gas this shit. But Garth wants to say something because it is, a deceased person. And they're going to burn their bones. And Dean pauses and just says, "We won." And throws a match on.
That was awesome. I love that moment. All right, so that fucker's being burned, and so we go to the sheriff's office, and what? A sheriff in a small southern town is an asshole?
Yeah, the sheriff's a real dick to Doug, the deputy. So, and Jeff, who killed his or not Jeff, it's Scott Lou.
Scott who killed Jeff. Yes.
Scott killed Jeff, is having his asthma attack in the cell. So he's like, "Please go get my inhaler from my stuff in my evidence bag." And so he's going to do it because
the guy's dying.
Yeah. You can't have him die in custody. Try not to. So anyways, but he's like touches some stuff in the bag, the evidence bag. We don't really see what. And all of a sudden he's got the black green goo from his ear. Son of a bitch. And he grabs a shotgun and goes and shoots the sheriff and tells him to write his own reports.
Don't have other people write your reports.
He shot the sheriff.
Well, no, you have to hold that because there's a place for that joke. So hold it. All right.
Noted. But did anybody ever get Scott his inhalers?
No, Scott's just having an asthma attack. That never I'm sure it gets better watching this guy take a shotgun and randomly shoot another law enforcement officer. I'm sure his asthma's
not terrifying at all. His
asthma's just fine. He's calmed down. It's cool. All right, so the boys come to investigate.
And while they're questioning this deputy, they find out, oh yeah, by the way, as soon as I shot the sheriff, I got tackled by another deputy.
See,
and he grabbed my gun and said he was going to the hospital.
This is where the line is, because Sam says, "All right, we need need you to focus, deputy. Other lives depend on it. Tell me what happened after you shot the sheriff." That is where the joke should be, and that is also where Garth should have been giggling instead of the pieces line. This is where the giggle should have been.
You're right. No, missed opportunity for sure. You are correct. So so now we know that one of the other sheriffs or the deputy has a gun and is on his way to the hospital. And all they know is that this is bad because something's wrong. Something is happening that's making people kill people. So Dean's going to go to the hospital, and Sam and Garth are going to go research.
They're going out to they're going to go find out stuff about the unknown soldier.
Right. And we've got our arrival of the possessed deputy at the hospital with his gun. And we do see the reflection of the dead soldier in the mirror. Sam and Garth go to research at the library, and this librarian, I guess, is going to try to help them, but Sam has a flashback. I don't know. It's weird timing.
Yeah, he's just
stops on the steps and has a weird flashback about how Amelia's like, "You just need to get your clothes and go because I don't want you to pity me."
Yeah, she's regretting fucking this dude 8 months after her husband died, and now thinks "Oh no, I told him this and he's just going to feel sorry for me." But why is this flashback here? I don't know. It's just here. What? I don't know. Okay.
Very
and Garth is like, "Excuse me. Hi.
We've got things to do." Yeah. So well, they're going to talk to the librarian about theories, and we get back and forth. He goes back and forthy. This is super back and forthy. But basically, what's happening is Dean's at the hospital. The deputy is like blasting fucking nurses. Finds Carl is the deputy's name, and he's going to shoot the nurse who was the umpire when he's tried to steal second. I don't fucking know.
He got called out by this male nurse, and so now he's gonna die.
Yeah. Luckily, Dean gets there, though, and the shotgun's out of shotgun shells, so fine. And then, apparently, though, we learned that the Spectre, when it has you, it gives you super strength, so Dean's going to get his ass kicked. But the librarian does share with Sam and Garth that there is a theory about who the fuck the unknown soldier is. And basically, it's these two brothers, the Collins brothers. One was fighting for the Union, and one was fighting for the Confederacy. And
so the most trite tale of the Civil War that could ever be done. One, there was brother fighting brother. One of them was for the Union. One of them was for the Confederate. And then we flashed, and we're like, "Oh shit, Dean's possessed."
Yeah, because he's going to try to basically the Spectre's like, "Ooh, I like Dean. Here, Dean, here, take this penny that I'm pressing into your hand." And the penny is the thing that keeps them possessed. Because what they figure out is the librarian shows them that a penny tied around a string, worn as a necklace, was very common during the Civil War.
And it's very sweet because it was for good luck. And that way, if they ever got a loss, they always had a penny to buy food or a drink.
Oh yeah, it's very. I thought it was good too.
I think that's a sweet story. Although I'm like, penny.
I liked it.
Shit.
I'm like, what could you do with that now? I don't know. But anyways, now if you had a penny that old, maybe it would be worth enough to sell to buy lunch. But that's
you still have to go find it. But yeah,
I know. So anyway, Sam and Garth are trying to get a hold of Dean now to give them the news. But Sam's like, "Oh shit! I saw a piece of string on the ground at the tomb. That means this whole thing's about a goddamn penny. Let's go to the motel and tell Dean because he's not answering the phone." But Dean is at the motel waiting for them. The phone's just sitting on the bed next to him ringing, which also is so annoying.
You were there. You just picked it up. But also, I do that all the time. Like, why the fuck are you calling me? Just text me. So they walk in. He just pulls his gun. You can see the green goo. You can see it.
Yeah. And he just points the gun at Sam. And it said, "You should have looked for me when I was in purgatory." Yikes.
Which is damn, but also harsh truth. This is what Dean is. This is the core of why.
So he's been harboring this. They haven't talked about it. And he does have some exceptionally valid points. Unfortunately, I think Sam was mostly wrong here. So.
Yeah.
Now, do I think Sam needed to spend a whole year of his life searching for Dean when there was no sign of him or anything else? Probably not. He could have fucking chilled at some point, maybe. But it doesn't mean you give up completely and
there wasn't a body.
It's very bizarre.
There wasn't a body, Sam. I get if there's a body, you move on. You have a 100th funeral, you do shit. But I feel like you gave up. But we also don't know. We don't know the full story about why you love him. All right, so Dean, we figure out why Dean is pissed, but we also get then I don't really hate this flashback because I like the way that it's done.
The kids in the tomb.
Well, just the story of the penny, right? It's the whole this is how.
No, you're right. They do it. They the little following along.
Yeah, this is how this object.
That's how it's made. How it's made. Kind of a thing. Many. You're right. No, it first starts out with just the kids in the tomb, but then you get the one steals the penny, takes it to the store. Buys this, then they get change, and the whole thing. It's cute.
Yeah, and how and there's also there was nothing really malicious about this. The kid wasn't even possessed. When he just no. And it was funny is he just, what the fuck is wrong with you, you dumb redneck child, that you took something out of a 200-year-old tomb and wasn't maybe this is worth something, you fucking idiot.
Oh my. You take the I'm not advocating for grave robbing, but I'm just saying the penny around his neck is what you take when there's that fucking fancy ass revolver.
Did you see that gun? Did you see that?
I'm just saying.
And then you use it as a penny.
Yes.
You
like
I can't figure out a way to say things without being offensive.
Cannot relate. Yeah, cannot
the
relate
words
to this
I want to
kid.
use for this child, they're not good. All right, so the child has spent the penny, and then that's how it ends up going through the change. That's how it goes to the wife, and then we just watch it go through on and on and on until we finally see it getting pressed into Dean's hand.
Yes, and back in the motel room, Sam's trying to I'm going to reason with Dean. I'll get through to him. But this type of specter possession we've kind of seen that's not really going to happen. So Dean's going to unload. He's like, I know you didn't want this life and whatever. And I'm going to list my grievances against you and the mistakes that you've made, from demon blood to Ruby to not having a soul.
At this point, can you bring this up anymore, Dean? I think you need to stop bringing. You gotta let this shit go.
Yeah. And but he's like, but these were all choices that you made, and he's like, I may have lied, but not betrayed you and left you to die for a girl. So Sam attacks Dean at this point.
Take off your shirts.
But Dean has super specter strength. Super specter strength is in the scene. And Garth's going to intervene, though, because he's like, no, Dean won't kill me because his beef is with Sam.
Beef. Where's the beef?
Beef. But Dean's still going to point the gun, and Sam's like, no, what about Benny? That's an example. And of course, of you lying to me,
Sam?
And Dean's like,
why? You're poking the bear. At this point, you're just poking the fucking bear. There's no reason for you to bring up Benny.
And Dean's like, Benny's more of a brother in the past year than you ever were. And Garth's like, who the fuck's Benny? But anyway, but Dean's gonna keep going on and basically talking about how everybody's let him down except for Benny. But Garth's still trying to come through to him, but Dean's like, nope, time to say goodbye, and he's about to shoot Sam. But Garth hits Dean just right, and it makes him drop
the penny. Him. Good for you, Garth.
But it hurts his hand to do it. And Dean kind of comes around, but Garth then picks up the penny, which is terrifying. Briefly.
Yep.
But apparently it didn't affect him, and he melts it down. I don't know. And
much
he
like
kind of
explains
that,
because there was a teenage kid that did not get possessed, right?
Mm-hmm. He's like, I let stuff go. I see a yogi, and I've got a Sega Genesis, and I can't change the past.
I feel like maybe I misunderstood that line. I thought his yogi was the Sega Genesis.
Maybe. I may have misunderstood it then, too.
Okay, whatever. But also to stop being an idiot, right?
That, too. And, yeah. So, there we go. Sam and Dean have each other, and they need to... everybody needs to hug it out.
Yeah, hug me, you fool.
That's what Garth wants to do.
Right. And while they're hanging out, we see this amazing neon sign of the Little Dixie Motel. I just really like the blue and the peach colors together in the neon. I thought that was really well done. And it says, welcome to Jesse James Outlaw Days, and then double rooms are $45. And that's just amazing when you have a motel room for $45. But
it is.
We're going to talk about some ghosts. And we're going to talk about... it's lore. They can't... No. No, Diana, stop. I was trying to do a segue. All right.
Go for it.
So, the hotel sign says, welcome to Jesse James Outlaw Days. And the reason for that is Kearney, or what the fuck you want to say, this town in Missouri, was actually the home to Jesse James. And the Jesse James farm is there. And that is supposedly haunted. But I'm not going to give any more time to that racist piece of shit, Jesse James. Instead, we're going to talk about another family in Kearney, Missouri. I don't know why I didn't learn how to say this name. I thought I knew how to say it, and then you said it a different way earlier. So now I'm just questioning myself.
I don't know.
I just was calling it Kearney, and I guess it's just because I'm Southern. But anyway, so we're going to talk about the Ebbhart family, Lance, his wife Jennifer, and their children Chloe, Emmy, and Heidi and their haunted farm. So, the Ebbhart family, and you can go to their site now, and it says it's the Mas. What was it? I was it Mies Mas Tejas Ranch. Mies Mas Tejas Ranch. MIS.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but if you go there now, you get a sign. Basically, there's a sign that says our page is getting a refresh, and there's a picture of some horses and a little girl with a giant squash, and that they're currently partnered with the wine company, and they specialize in free range eggs, zucchini, okra, cantaloupes, watermelons, and pears. Pumpkins coming soon for the fall. Taste our fresh baked goods and Texas hot sauce. It's muy bueno, y'all. But thank you, Internet Archive, for keeping pages of the internet forever. And so within this website is the blog of Lance Ebbhart, which details the haunting of their land. This was featured in a Dead Files episode, season 8, episode 1, Hell in the Heartland. If you did not know, Dead Files is one of the paranormal shows where Steve DeSchiavi, what the fuck you say his name, and Amy Allen investigate paranormal activity. Steve's kind of like the horror historian, PI like dude, and Amy's a medium.
Okay.
Like, I think, I don't know if you've ever seen the show, like basically they like go in separately, and then at the end they reveal to like the client, like, this is what happened in your house, and like she's like, this is what I felt like as a medium, and the other guy's like, this is what I learned, and then you like they all come together and spooky. So their homeland one time is thought to have had an antebellum plantation home on it that was burned to the ground by Union troops. So tying it all in. So the Ebbharts did move to Kearney from Houston in 2008. They bought the farm after seeing it on the internet. And they was like, we gotta have this. Look at all the horses. That's great. The stalls. Sure. And so when they move in, their oldest daughter, London, she took the back room, and she was 13 then. And she was having dreams about a woman in the room touching her. She heard people banging on the window, yelling, "Let us in, let us in." London told her parents one time that she saw a woman sitting on the bed, and when she came into the room, like, her face was shallow, eyes dark, and there was an overwhelming degree of sadness in the room. The woman would wake her up, hold her down, and scream at her. So she tells her parents this.
Fuck that noise.
They put her on meds, and they didn't help. And so things continue, but they're not consistent, right? And the family has a couple of parties. In one, there's like one of the kids was like, who is that guy that was walking down the driveway? And they're like, what? What guy? We're the only adults here. Like, and so there was nobody there. And then like one of their other kids had a party, and in the pictures, there's like orbs like around everybody, right? And so as the activity increased, they started trying to do some investigations, like recording EVPs. And this is quoting straight from Lance's blog. We had already started watching paranormal shows in hopes of getting some advice. Maybe we could find something similar to what we were experiencing. At the time, our options were limited to Ghost Adventures, The Dead Files, and the stuff we found on YouTube. Other programs seemed staged and not helpful at all. YouTube was filled with, for lack of a better word, crap. Ghost Adventures was the go-to show for us. We started watching before they turned into big celebrities, and we're really all about documenting and researching. We thought if we know what we're dealing with, then maybe we can get rid of it. So they attempted to do some basic questioning over EVPs, and getting like nothing's really happening until London asks, "Do you like my cat? Do you like playing with her?" And that's when they played the tape back. They heard a male voice going, "No." Apparently didn't like that cat. So they did more EVPs. They got some more disturbing results. Then physical activity started happening. So the cupboards started popping open. TVs were staying on after being unplugged. A printer in the basement where Lance was working just started printing out paper without being asked to, which I'm like, that's just a printer. That's Russia.
Yeah, I mean, that doesn't count.
Yeah,
That's not a good example.
They found a historical grave on the site. While out there, they heard shots, and Lance got winged by a bullet in the leg. Then Jennifer, the wife, she began to wake up with bruises. It was looking like somebody was grabbing her. She was being woken by her legs being pulled. Lance was being jerked towards the bottom of the bed by his ankle. And then things just started, like toy airplanes, just started like flying all over the house, right? Lance starts sleepwalking and sleep writing. In his writing, he wrote out the story of Charlie Reynolds, Lonesome Charlie, and they did find out, yes, there was a Charlie Reynolds who had ties to the area. He served as a scout for the military and was killed in the Battle of Little Bighorn. Charlie was, however, disgusted by the treatment of the Native Americans and was pro-Union. So I just like they had to put that in there to cover their asses about Lonesome Charlie. He was probably not any of those things if he existed. Okay, so the Ebhearts decided they needed help and reached out to the Dead Files. They ended up getting a group of investigators who told them they were doing a preliminary investigation for the show with a psychic medium who had worked with Amy in the past. So the team comes out, and the team is there. Half of them are inside, half of them out. Jennifer starts smelling like there's like cigarette smoke everywhere, and other people are starting to smell this too, but nobody's smoking. The investigators felt like the basement had the most demonic presence, so they wanted to go down there. And so they go down there and they ask a bunch of questions, and nothing happens. And so, like, one of them is like, well, we need to draw this out. Let's all sit in a circle on the floor, right? And then let's all start asking, like, really aggressive questions. And so they're just, like, yelling at the ghost. And Lance told them that someone grabbed them, and the investigators were like, did you just do that? And then Lance heard a voice behind him go, yes! And then he felt a cut on the back of his neck. And then he ran up the stairs, and the crews were like super excited because they're like, we've got scratches. And Lance said they were more like gouges. And so, like, he runs out. Eventually, though, they get him. Eventually, the team goes back to the basements, and Lance was not down there, but he said he heard a team member say, "We command you to come forward, show yourself." And
show yourself.
Yeah, show yourself. Oh, sorry, Lance was down there, right? And so Lance starts feeling like like thinks he just passed out. But Jennifer was watching upstairs with the monitors and said he was picked up and thrown across the room. At this point, the investigators have decided it's too much and they have to leave. And Jennifer was pissed and was like, no, you're not just going to come in here and piss off this thing and leave. We have to live here.
Right.
And they're like, okay, well, we'll do this cleansing. We're going to burn some sage. So the psychic runs around with the sage thing. And if Diana has a cup right now, what does your cup say?
Not enough sage in the world for this shit.
Yeah. So apparently they did not have enough sage either. So as she's staging, like a light bulb is bursting. And so the psychic then was like, this is fucked up. Burn all this shit and delete all the evidence and we'll be in touch. So they don't hear from them for a while. And Jennifer reaches out and they're like, nope, evidence was inconclusive. Delete everything. And so the family's like, oh, you actually weren't connected with Dead Files at all. And maybe your sage didn't do anything, right? So things just start getting increasingly worse. Lance starts hearing a crazy lady talk, and nobody else could hear her, but he could. He started getting migraines. He couldn't sleep through the night. One night while he was laying in bed, he started hearing this woman whisper, why are you ignoring me? Please tell me. I am without words and scared. And finally he was like, because I don't like you, you scare me, and I want you to leave me alone. And she faded away, and the voice stopped. And it helped for a little bit, but Lance began to become physically ill. He had terrible joint pains. His insomnia was worse. Then one night, while he's trying to get to sleep again, he heard, you can toss, you can turn, but you will never be comfortable again. I will make you come to me. I can make it all stop. All you have to do is come to me. And these are his exact words. The bitch was back and was now attacking me. So after that, sorry, I had to. So after that, though, his health continued to fail. Lance went to the doctor. He was put on Zoloft and meloxicam. They didn't seem to help. He kept hearing her giggle, but finally he was able to block her out. But the last, right before that, the last thing he heard her say was, "All the elixirs in the world will not help. I am your only remedy." So yeah, so things continue, right? At this point, the oldest kid's gone for college. They have a horse. They have to put that down while they
how long do they fucking stay there with this shit going on?
So I told you this was 2008, I think. And then all the way forward, right? So we go through Dead Files is there in 2016, I think. So anyway, when the horse gets put down, Lance saw a tall man standing on the horse's grave, and Lance is like, "What you doing here?" He's like, "I'm paying my respects." And then he walked off and disappeared through a fence. And Lance said he didn't think that guy was paying his respects. He thought he was angry. But then things got worse, and everybody starts hearing the crazy lady screaming, and the cigarette smoke and the pipe smoke. They're smelling that all the time. They catch somebody reacting to the scream on audio, and they finally find the real Dead Files people, and they beg their production company for help. And they're like, "Look, we're just wrapping our season, and we're not sure if we're going to be renewed, so we don't know." And so this is happening, and they're now the ghosts, they think the ghosts are even madder because they're reaching out for help and wanting to punish them.
Right.
So Jennifer said she found the dog food that spelled out nice trick in dog food. I think it's pretty cool. Then there's a spoon that's flying around, and a screaming male has joined the female. There are things that are just opening and moving and disappearing. The bar stools did the thing where they stacked on top of each other, where it's legs to legs, they shouldn't be able to balance like this, but they can. And then activity extended outside to the garage and the barn. And the family is just getting sicker and sicker. Jennifer's got more bruises and scratches and stomach problems, and her vitamin D and iron levels have dropped to dangerously low levels. And this is all according to his blog, right? So they were over paranormal TV shows, and I quote, "Ghost Adventures turned into a primetime drama that only seemed to serve Zach Bagans' ego."
Ooh.
Sorry, that was just really funny. I had that clue in there. I just love people talking shit with Zach Bagans, whatever the fuck. All right, so electronics and appliances are just taking out a life of their own. They would stop working. They would reprogram themselves, which seems really convenient. They would break down together. Shadows are everywhere. Their light bulb bill was just through the roof. They were continuously being tormented by the previously mentioned spoon. So a spoon was found in the yard, and they brought it inside, but then it just would end up back there, and then the spoon just started showing up in all sorts of different places, and then it started flying through the kitchen by itself. Then they're like, "Okay, we got to get this on camera," right? So they left a phone camera set up, pointed at the spoon, and they went in the other room. Then Lance heard a voice by his ear yell, "Hey!" And he jumped up, and he heard the spoon hitting the floor. Then he saw a pumpkin flying towards one of the kids. Then the camera phone hit the floor. And then they go get the recording, right? And they could hear the hay and the stuff hitting ground. And then they could see these long, bony, distorted hands reaching out toward the pumpkin and picking it up without touching it and then throwing it.
No.
Yeah. So the camera then froze, and Jennifer rebooted it, and the video is gone. But she backed it up in a cloud server, so they still have it. All right. So at this point, everyone has stopped sleeping in their rooms. They're all on the couch together. The kids are missing school. Their like knives are showing like up stuck in the ceiling. Jennifer has to have her gallbladder removed. They apparently also have like a puppy farm there, and a bunch of their puppies in their kennel die from parvo.
Oh, no.
And Lance then, like, he keeps seeing more and more figures, and he said, one day at dusk, I was on the back deck and I heard the sound of a scream. I wasn't sure if it was an animal or a human, and as I turned, I saw an Indian on a horse slowly walking from behind the garage. I was frozen and scared because the look on his face was one of anger. All of a sudden, he charged, and he got me at the blink of an eye with a spear drawn. I couldn't move. I just closed my eyes, and I felt a coldness run through me. And when I opened my eyes, he was gone, and I made a beeline for the house. As I said before about the knives being stuck in the ceiling, like, these seemed to be a weapon of choice. They were in the ceiling, the walls, and the floor. While cleaning the kitchen one night, a knife was used to cut up a watermelon. It flew across the counter and cut Lance across the arm. And then he was like, I just got angry because I felt like it was a cowardly move and like they should fight me fairly. And so I just want to fight or protect myself and my family. But then March of 2016, they found some hope because they were finally asked to be in the season 8 premiere of Dead Files. And at this point, Lance's voices were just like screaming and talking on top of each other. There were shadows that were knocking him down, and he thinks like the crazy lady was gathering forces to keep the Dead Files from coming. And one night she like apparently scared off one of their puppy customers, and so they were in the dining room, and after scaring them off, like Lance heard this whisper in his ear, I control this now. And he said he whispered back, no, you don't. And you never will. And she slapped him across the face. And she left like a visible handprint across his face. So the closer to the filming, the more increased the activity became. So the Dead Files come. They do their whole thing, right? They go, Amy, go. So they do their big reveal. And Amy said that she could see hundreds of dead people walking back and forth in front of the house. But there were some main spirits that were responsible for the family's issues. There was a woman who was jealous of others who get attention from Lance. And that spirit, she said, could physically assault the living as it feeds off the family, draining their brain power and mental state. They think she was a woman named Etta Peters, who may have died from suicide on the property. They just know she was died. But they also think that she was attaching herself to Heidi, the middle girl, because Heidi has PK. Because she's a teenager, she's the one who's making all the poltergeist activity, right? Because, like, you know, they say that's what happens, like, during the teenage side, and then, like, the ghost is, like, attached onto Heidi and is using her as, like, a battery, right?
Yeah.
But then, this is so fucking disturbing. And it's a thing that gets mentioned, and then, like, I never see this get mentioned again. Then Amy tells Jennifer there are 7 ghosts behind her, trying to warn her about someone who is hurting one of your girls. They're saying that a living person is molesting the girl who sleeps in the back bedroom, and they are trying to protect her.
What?
This never gets brought up again, at least like not in the blog. I mean, maybe he didn't talk about it on the show. Like, this whole, like, well, I'm like, is this a cry for help that a child is getting, like, what the fuck here? Okay.
Yeah.
But then they also say, you know, another one of the spirits, a tall man wearing a hat, is a hat man. And Amy thinks that that was a man. He's a menacing and dangerous figure. And he was trapped in a room by the previous paranormal team, and he was pissed. Well, he was like trapped in the house. Like, that was the one, like, I command you to come. And he was like, fuck, I'm here and I can't leave. And so that's why he was like, you know, yanking people out of bed and stuff. But the show did give the family, unlike Sam and Dean Winchester, after they did their things, they did give the family an action plan. And that is good, right?
Instead of just leaving them hanging, like, deuces, thanks.
Enjoy your mental trauma. So they gave them things the family needed to do, including having the house cleansed by a Reiki master, burning frankincense, having everyone in the house wear protective pendants, and cleaning the house, especially all surfaces and windows, with salt water, which they did. The Reiki person came and cleaned the soul of the crazy lady's ghost and got her to cross over.
Oh,
They
wow.
got rid of the Hat Man, but there's still some residual enemy energy that remains, and there are still visits from good and bad that are occurring. But they studied, they learned how to protect themselves, they sent their kid to a psychotherapist, and now, mainly what I can tell, they have just tweets about football. Oh, I think he also became ordained and attached to angels. I think I saw that somewhere. So I think he became an angel dude.
An angel guy.
Yeah. So, anyways, that's the story of the Ebbharts in Kearney, Missouri, and their crazy house haunting shit. I will not say that. Oh, what? Like all this stuff that got deleted. Strange.
Weird. Well, speaking of Hat Man,
we're about to Garth getting a ceremonial hat.
Yeah, Dean gives Garth Bobby's hat back. I'm not saying that Garth is the Hat Man or Bobby.
You have solved the paranormal question that has been haunting people forever. Who is the Hat
Man? No. So he gives the hat back, which is kind of it's just super symbolic and meaningful, even though it's just a fucking hat. It's not.
It's Bobby's hat. Bobby's dirty ass trucker.
And he gets a call about a Wendigo, so he's got to leave.
So he gets a call for the Wendigo, but the phone starts playing Hammer Time. And earlier, Dean had said if his phone plays Hammer Time, that he was going to lose it, and that is what Garth's ringtone for Lamar apparently is.
Of course it was. Yeah, and but so Garth tries to start his car and it won't start. And why does that matter? Because it gives Garth the opportunity to say balls in the appropriate way.
It does.
Then
Good balls.
Well, in the motel, Sam's going to have a flashback, telling Amelia how he doesn't pity her, blah, 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 and how he lost his brother, and it ran away just like her, and yeah. And then they should talk about it.
Yeah, it's so sensitive, right? It's a very sensitive thing. Sam is uber sensitive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So back at the motel, Sam and Dean are loading up baby, and Sam's like, he's gonna open up about Amelia. Her name was Amelia. We had a place in Kermit, Texas, and I know that you didn't really mean what you said, and I was honest, but you had secrets and acted all high and mighty, and someday I might have to be the one that kills Benny.
Yeah, and he also has a very good line. He's like, "You need to move on, or I will." Right, but I mean, I think he's like, besides like Dean, like you've got secrets, Dean, like you got secrets about Benny. I'm like, no, Dean's a fucking psychopath. Like, I think that's like. Benny's not your problem. Like how Dean's been killing people since he's been back, or like monsters, like those things. Like that's what I would be concerned about, not Benny. But that's just me.
Yeah.
But we all focus on things, So.
Well, I'll give us a quick little.
I will say before
Roundup.
You leave, the end of my notes, just say after Sam, and Sam may be the bridge. I don't know, bridge. I don't know why I put that in my notes, but who ices Benny when it comes to it, and then I just have written out for all time.
Well, I'll give us a quick little cast, just a couple notes. Mary Lou was played by Chilton Crane. She's Mrs. Gibbons in Final Destination 2. And Susan in the 4400 is a very recurring character. We've got Deputy Doug Wallace was played by Aaron Craven, who had a small parts as a scientist in Predator, in a more recent version, and then as a tech in the Day the Earth Stood Still. Chester Lou, who gets crushed by the car, that's Chris Newland, and he had a small part as a cop in Sucker Punch, and also has been in episodes of Stargate Atlantis and Smallville. And our Corporal Vance Collins, that's our dead
soldier
that we, that's played by Nathan Dashwood. He's been in episodes of Smallville, Arrow, and Siren, and also a couple episodes in the Batwoman series as Joker. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. So what did you think?
So this episode, I actually really liked it.
Well,
I don't know. I was going to talk
shit
shit about the Sam and Dean dynamic, but even the Sam and Dean dynamic being annoying was entertaining because of how it was done, and it forced some things to come out to the open, and sometimes that's important. And Garth, how do you hate Garth?
I just can't hate Garth.
And some really like cool dramatic death scenes.
Yeah, that was a good episode.
Which sounds shitty, but they were creative. Even though I was traumatized.
It was a traumatic episode at the same time. I think it's good.
Yeah, I liked it. I'm excited to see where we're going. Because we really barely have mentioned Kevin. Like, they alluded to it once, but that's really what they're supposed to be after, right? This whole season.
Ooh.
And we've barely done that.
Who knows? Kevin. Where's Kevin?
Who knows?
Say Kevin a lot. Sorry, I'm just trying to get a dog. I'm
not
trying
gonna
to
do
get a
it.
dog to hell. All right, cheers, cheers.
Cheers, bitch.
Devil's Trap Podcast is a Don't Get It production. Meow.
Devil's Trap Podcast is part of the Ship It Studios Podcast Network. Thanks for listening to this week's episode of Devil's Trap Podcast. You can follow us on Instagram at Devil's Trap Podcast, Twitter at Devil's Trap Pod, or you can email us at devilstrap@devilstrappodcast.com. Don't forget to subscribe, leave reviews, and share with all your friends. We're at all your favorite podcast outlets and at devilstrappodcast.com. I'm Babe. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.